Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. So last night I watched the documentary for a second time, which is really rare for me because normally I prefer to watch movies and fictional series just for a little escape, but certainly not a documentary twice. But this one was particularly good. It's called Don't F with Cats, Hunting an Internet Killer. And if you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix. I challenge you to start watching the first episode without binge watching all 3 episodes together. It's really good. And what makes it good, and the lesson for you today, is the story. The main villain is Luca Magnotta, a guy who makes anonymous online videos of him torturing cats. And he does this to get notoriety and because deep down he wants to be famous, even if it's for all the wrong reasons. And people seeing these videos online, they're furious. They want to find out who is this guy and they want justice served. So a rogue group of these individuals from around the world, they form this Facebook group and they make it their mission to catch this guy. They start piecing together the little clues in his videos. They're all working together and slowly they begin to figure out who he is and where he's living. Now, meanwhile, Luke is aware that they're looking for him and he's continuing to post similar videos online, and he's seeing all of this as a game. He later then moves on to an actual murder of a person. And I know this probably sounds terrible and very disturbing, and it is disturbing, but it's also really fascinating the way that the documentary unfolds. And it's extremely satisfying when they finally catch him. Now, to this day, he's still in prison. So this is all a real story. It actually happened. And anyway, the reason why I'm sharing all of this with you is because of the lesson. This documentary is very entertaining, and whatever content you're putting out there, whether it's a blog post, emails, you're making a documentary, you're doing YouTube videos, whatever it is, regardless of its purpose, you must have a story if you want it to be engaging, at least if you want it to do well and get a lot of attention. And the most important part of a good story is when everything goes wrong, the conflict. It's the tension, the drama, when it appears that there may be no resolution in sight, there's no end in sight, no way to fix the problem. That is what's going to hook your audience and get their full attention. And that's what's going to get them to engage with your story and to keep on watching. So let's look at a real life example. I am sure, I'm positive, you've heard of Shetty. So he's got 3.65 million subscribers on YouTube. He's got 7.1 million fans on Instagram, and all of this in just a few short years. So why does someone like Shetty get so much attention? Why does he have such an enormous following? It's because his content, if you look at it, it's little micro stories, little videos about little dramas, but there's always a story. If his videos were just him standing in front of a camera like I'm doing right now, and it's just him teaching facts and ideas with no stories, no one would have heard of Shetty, or at least a lot less people. But because he's such a great storyteller and he's so great at packaging these stories in a way which it makes it easy for people to watch, they're short, they're entertaining, but also to share, that's why he's so successful. Now, you already know how good stories go, even if you don't know the names of the technical sections, but you've been watching stories all your life. There's 5 main parts of a story, and your content, regardless of its purpose, whatever it is, it's got to have these 5 parts of the story if you want it to do well. Okay, so the first thing you need is you need a setup. This is the beginning part of your story where you're going to establish the world, the characters, who are they, the tone. Is the mood optimistic? Is it depressing? Are people going through hard times? But you've got to establish this world. Now, in the next part, you have the rising action. Usually there's some inciting incident, and this is going to get all the action going. So this is where you're going to have your tension, your problems, escalation, and you're going to reveal the feelings of your characters. You're going to start to develop these characters. How do they handle the excitement of things going, but also some of the adversity. Now in part 3, this is where you're going to have the moment of truth. This is the culmination of everything, the climax of the tension. Everything's been building up to this point, and then number 4, this is the most important part. What goes up must come down, and this is where everything crashes, but there's a resolution. Okay, so this is where the main characters solve this big adverse problem. And lastly, you have your wrap up. Okay, this is where you have your happy ending. Everything's right in the world again, and that's it. Now, when you're crafting your content, you might not be thinking of these 5 sections consciously, but you need to make sure they are there if you want to tell a good story. And I can't stress this enough. If you want your content to get a lot more engagement, to get a lot more attention, you got to work in the stories. It's always about the stories. So when you're putting together your next piece of content or you're trying to get attention for whatever purpose, whether it's to make progress in your career, whatever it is, think to yourself, how do I work in an engaging story? Okay, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna go enjoy this sunset, and guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, if you want to come to Costa Rica and you want to experience sunsets on the beach just like I'm seeing right now, join Strive. When you become an annual member of Strive, you get to go to 2 seminar vacations per year. These are 7-day, 6-night events, all inclusive. You can bring a guest, all your food, drinks, entertainment, it's all covered, and you can come and enjoy the best of Costa Rica. That's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.